Greetings! This is Stitch. I'm a full patch member of Disciple Christian Motorcycle Club, and I have an interview today. So, if any of you all have been following, I was working with First Student School Bus Company, but I was laid off because of the whole virus thing. Make sure I have my keys. Oh, look at that view. So I was laid off because of the whole virus thing, and I have had no work. So I had this awesome opportunity where a supporter in the club knows a guy who knows a guy who said they can get me in, you know? So I'm going to an interview with the Department of Transportation, and I feel really good about it. So we'll see what happens. Ooh, my beautiful truck. This bike was loaned to me by that same supporter. And what is that doing? Stupid. So, I'm gonna go to this interview and just continue praying. You know, I pray that I get this job, and I've also been praying that I can provide transportation, because my awesome truck here probably won't make it too far, you know? I get excited that it makes it to Anchorage, which is about an hour away. So, I'm gonna get the truck warmed up, get the camera mounted, and go from there. So it says it'll take 11 minutes to get there. So I'm gonna go. I should have brought my social security card and all that stuff, just in case they hire me on the spot. Which is what the school bus company did. They hired me on the spot. Long hair. I was told to put in solid plugs in my nostrils. So I gotta switch those out too when I get there. Alright, let's go. Oh gosh, all the ice build up. I'm so excited because they came through and scraped this entire road. This road was disgusting looking. It was built up with a bunch of like potholes, you know, made through the snow and ice. And it was really hard to drive through. And that's even in my truck. And then this section right here, I call it the moat. Because again, it builds up with all the ice and snow.
400 feet.
And it just creates this almost impossible to drive on, you know, situation. Don't worry, my cough ain't the coronas. I tend to always have a cough in the morning, and then it levels out. Oh, it's kind of chilly. So, it's been warmer though. So during the week, it'll actually, I mean, like during the day, it gets pretty warm and everything just starts melting. And then at night, it kind of freezes again. And that creates a little difficulty. But it's good. I got 9 minutes. I'll be there in 9 minutes. So yeah, my prayer, because I had to join the union, right? So, and I had to go to Anchorage for that. But it's like, okay, Lord, well, if you're gonna provide this for me, this opportunity, this is some stuff that I need, you know? It's like, I needed transportation to Anchorage, because I also don't like driving to Anchorage, personally. So if I can avoid going to Anchorage, I will. So I'm like, Lord, I need transportation to Anchorage. I don't have the money because I was laid off because of the virus, so I need money for dues, you know, to pay the union dues to get on their call list, you know. So, you know, again, that same supporter, bam, he's like, well, I'll pick you up tomorrow, 7 a.m. And then we get there, and I'm like, well, can I pay the dues later? And she's like, yeah, you can pay the dues later, but you have to pay before you start work. So I was like, okay. And he's like, no, I got you. So bam, he pays my dues. And then she's like, well, what's a good phone number? And I was like, well, my phone's turned off again. I got laid off. It's either food or my cell phone, right? So I went ahead and got groceries. And he's like, oh, no, I got you, man. I'll pay your phone bill today. And it's like, are you serious? It gets really, it's really touching, you know, when people take interest in your life. And it's like, that's one of the big things about Disciple. I got men all around the world that have taken interest in my life, that want me to succeed, you know? They want the best for me. And it's like, I can't speak for any other club, but it's like, I know with Disciple, I have that brotherhood. I have those men around me that hold me accountable, that make sure I'm doing what I'm supposed to do, and they help me get where I need to get, you know? It's such a blessing. And especially men of God that are obedient to the Lord. You know, I had a prospect hit me up, and he's like, God's telling me I need a tithe to you. So my tithe, instead of it going to the church, I'm told it has to go to you. And I'm blown away. Because I'm over here crying, like literally crying out to God, like, Lord, I need your help. I need you to provide for me. I need money. I need my rent paid. I need groceries. Lord, I need my phone turned on. You know, Lord, I need a job. You know, I'm crying out like 3 days, man, just praying. And God provides through other people. And I was so stubborn about it. I'm like, nah, God, you know, I want you to provide through me, you know? What have I done? You know, I want you to bring my unemployment quicker, because I applied for unemployment. Bring that quicker to me. Or, you know, get me a job faster. You know, provide through me. But God definitely, like, backhanded me, and it's like, no, it ain't about you. You know what I'm saying? So God provided for me, not using me, which really hurt my ego. And, you know, I broke down. When I had a cat pick me up, drive me an hour to and from the place, pay my union dues, paid my cell phone, I get out of his truck at my house and I broke down, man. I just get all teary-eyed. And it's like, holy crap, you know? Wow. Same guy that let me borrow his bike for the summer. I'm just blown away, like, holy crap, man. This is amazing. You're a true blessing to me, you know? He got 2 handshakes that day. What I mean is, I don't hug people. Like, you know, if I don't care about you, I ain't hugging you. And it's like, in the whole club thing, for me personally, in my opinion, does not reflect those of Disciple Christian Motorcycle Club or its members. But for me personally, I hated it when I went into an organization and they're like, oh, brother this, brother that, love you, brother. On day one, you know? That's bull. A brotherhood is earned. I never earned it. They never earned it. You know, I look back at all my posts and stuff from that time, and it's always like, oh, I'm so excited to be with my brothers. Brother. You don't know until you know. I definitely did not know. I was under a false misconception of what a brotherhood is. And then I learned what a brotherhood is.
In a quarter of a mile, turn right.
So I had to dip. You know, I quit it. And I seeked brotherhood. A true MC. Now again, Other people, they're huggers. That's fine. But I'm not gonna hug you, and I'm not gonna say I love you. You know what I'm saying? I really don't care. You're just a random guy trying to be in my club. Now, yes,
Turn right.
this guy is on that status. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's put in a lot of work recently. And that just doesn't mean, you know, giving me stuff. That's not how it is, you know? You shouldn't be using and abusing the brotherhood like that. But for him to go out of his way to give me a bike for the summer, pay my cell phone bill, pay my union dues, and drive me to and from, that's a lot. You know what I'm saying? That's a lot to do for someone. And then I had other guys in the club hit me up, said God told me I need to, you know, give you X amount of dollars. God said this, God said this. And at first I'm like, nah, man, I ain't no charity case. You ain't giving me nothing, homie. But then I was talking to this supporter who just did all that stuff for me. And he's basically like, look, you prayed. God, please provide for me. And now God's providing for you and you're telling him no? So it was a good gut check, man. I had to lay my pride down, you know? I had to give up what I thought I knew about God providing and actually allow God to provide. And God provided. You know, I don't know what God's gonna do for those people who ended up giving me, you know, one guy blessed me with 600. One guy blessed me with 500. One guy blessed me with 100. One guy blessed me with like 180. You know? And God will do what he's gonna do.
In a quarter of a mile, your destination will be on the left.
You know what I'm saying? That ain't on me. That's on God and what God does, you know? I'm just praying that, you know, God touches their heart and does something for them, you know what I mean? Just thanks them, you know? I just really want to thank them. I don't shout out names because it's like, I don't think that's what it's about. Alright, this is it.
Your destination is on the left.
Alright. Well, anyways, I'm pulling into the Department of Transportation. Department of Transportation Maintenance and Operations. Authorized personnel only. Well, hopefully, I'm authorized. Alright, I see their office door. I'm here 15 minutes or so before my interview. Oh, Lord, please, please, please. Getting nervous. I'm getting nervous. I definitely want to go in now. That way they see that I'm early. Let's put my phone on vibrate. It already is. Alright, well, I'm going to end this and hopefully come back with some answers as far as if I got hired or not. Stay humble, stay blessed. Greetings! I'm back. I just got done with my interview. It felt pretty good. Besides the fact that, oh, I couldn't shake people's hands. That was weird. Because I felt like I was being disrespectful. Especially to the guys that are interviewing me. But my interview's over. And I gotta go to the grocery store and pick up a few things. So how did the interview go? Right? That's what you're asking? So it went well. I walked in early, as you saw. They had me fill out some papers. So I filled out some paperwork, and then And then I went in, there was 3 people that interviewed me. And they sat on one side of the table, I was on the other side of the table, and they interviewed me. And so the questions, first they outlined the job position. So they said, you know, you could be working as a flagger, you know, stopping traffic and all that jazz. And they said they'd put me through flagger training, you know. And then they said, see right here, there's road construction, and this is exactly what the flagging position would be. So, but yeah, road construction. I gotta turn, so I'm gonna turn. Hopefully they're okay with it. But so yeah, it's entry-level road construction basically. And they said I could be doing flagging, I could be cutting brush with like a chainsaw, I could be, you know, fixing guardrails. They said it's manual labor. So this is kind of the cool thing, I thought, you know, you would leave for a week at a time. So they provide transportation, which I don't know if I said it in the first part of this video, but my big prayer request was like, Lord, I need transportation to and from, because they're driving way out there in Alaska, you know, working on the roads. And so this crew fills all the cracks in the road. So you're using that tar and sealant. So they wanted to know if I could drive a 1-ton truck hauling a trailer. And you know what? I realize I cough more when I talk. Anyways, I was like, yeah, I can haul a mini trailer, because I thought they were referring to like a semi truck. I was like, well, yeah, I was hauling at one of my jobs. I was doing the goat, and I was hooking and moving trailers around, you know, 45 foot, 55 foot trailers. I can move them around real good. I just couldn't back them in too well. It took me a long time. You know, I think my best record was 45 minutes. It took me to back a trailer into the dock, which is a horrible record, by the way. And they're like, no, little trailer, you know, hauling like, you know, the tar, or hauling porta potties or something. I was like, oh yeah, I got that. So, yeah, filling tar, filling the cracks in the road, making sure it's nice and smooth, fixing guardrails, you know, the metal, the wood, cutting the wood for them, getting the holes dug out for that. So you leave Sunday night, you get to the job site, you sleep at the camp. So they have a camp there, and it's where they got their office buildings. It's kind of like, you know, those pop-up mobile, you know, units. I forgot what they're called, but they're mobile, you know, they're on wheels, and they're like offices. So they have that set up there. They said they have a couple Connex boxes and stuff. So what it would be is, you go to the job site, and they have an area that's fenced off for them and their offices, kind of thing. So you'd have the ability to put a tent up right there. So they provide you with money. I think he said, what was it, 40 bucks for food, 40 bucks a day for food, and $79 for lodging. But if I camp with the rest of them, then I'm saving that money. My truck's making a weird noise right now. So yeah, then I could pocket that money. I could pocket the $40. Well, I guess I could pocket the $79 for lodging if I live at the campsite. All I gotta do is get a tent. So I can bring a tent, and then I provide my own food, and there you go. We got a clog here at this stop sign. So I think that's what I'll do, is I'll just bring a tent, because it will be summer in Alaska, which means it's going to be daylight and beautiful. The highest it'll get is maybe 81, I think, is the highest I seen it last year in Palmer, Alaska. I'm over here at Fred Meyer's, which is a grocery store. I gotta leave that on because I'm actually using my cell phone charger to charge my freaking GoPro because it wasn't charged, which is my fault, obviously. Turning off my tape player because it was making a feedback noise. What's the point? I'm trying to get everything out while I remember it. So yeah, you'd go up Sunday night. You're basically only home for one day, to be honest. Oh, like I said, my prayer request was that they provide transportation to and from the job site, and they do. All I have to do is drive my beautiful 1993 Nissan D21 hardbody. I just gotta drive this bad boy to Palmer, which you just saw me drive to. It's 11 minutes from my house. I just gotta drive there. So I drive there if I got the job. I would drive there with my backpack with all my clothes and stuff in it. You know, whatever electronics I may want to bring. I'd hop in their truck and they'd drive me up to the site, which is about an hour and a half away. He said something about Trappers Creek or Petersville or something. I don't know what any of that means. What did he say? Mile 128. So Alaska, I noticed they do a lot of things by like mile markers. So they go, oh yeah, go down there to mile marker 125, you're gonna turn left, you're gonna go down to mile marker 90, then you're gonna turn right. And it's like, wait, what? So yeah, a lot of mile markers is what they go by, and I'm like, I have no idea what any of that means. So yeah, like Petersville and Trappers Creek or something like that is where this job site is. So I'd hop in the truck, they'd drive me to the job site, and then I'd set up my tent and everything, and then I'd crash out. And then we get up at 6 a.m. Again, this is all if I get the job, but I'm praying that God provides because every door God's open, literally. He got me to the union. He got me signed up for the union. He got my dues paid for the union. I already said to and from transportation there. My last prayer request was that they provide transportation to the job site. That way I'm not driving my sweet, beautiful 93 Nissan hardbody to and from the job site. And they provide transportation. This sounds like it's 100% from God. So they said they'd let me know by today, if not by tomorrow, because they want people hired as soon as possible. There's 4 positions open for this job. And like I said, the job ranging from flagger to guardrail maintenance to street tarrer. I don't know if that's a word. Street tarrer. Anyways. So yeah. What else, right? So yeah. Monday morning, you start at 6 a.m. You start working. And then he said, the first 2 weeks, it'll be 10-hour days. 10-hour days, right? So the first 2 weeks is 10-hour days, and then after the first 2 weeks, because it's like you're getting into the position, then they said they're gonna move to 12-hour days. So they said it has a potential of doing 6 12-hour days, and then you leave Saturday night after you get off work. Saturday night, we'd all load up in the truck and then drive home for Saturday night, Sunday, and then drive back. So I don't even think you're barely getting a 24-hour day off, you know? Because you get off Sunday, he said we're going 6 to 6. So of getting 2 hours overtime every day, plus we're working a 6th day, and that entire 12 hours is all overtime. So that's 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. That's 21 hours of overtime, which is time and a half. So he's like, we like to go real hard in the summer and just stack paper, you know? So, of course, he didn't say stack paper. So he said, we like to go hard and make money. Because he's like, we all got to make money too. So they do the same thing. They just like to go real hard during the summer. And he's like, is there any time off that you have planned? I was like, yeah, King of the Mountain Run, homie. So we had the King of the Mountain Run July 11th with that whole weekend. So I was like, yeah, I'll need Friday, Saturday, and Sunday off July. So they wrote it down. So I can still make it to the King of the Mountain Run. But only for the 3 days, unfortunately. Instead, I usually do a week. You know, you got like, I usually do it on a Thursday. So I'm off Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday. And then I go back on Tuesday. It's kind of usually how I do the runs. That way I get like a full week with the guys. Because, you know, it's going to suck to have my brothers from other states and countries here in Alaska. And I don't get to spend time with them. But, unfortunately, I need to work. Alright, anyways. As you see, man, my life is blessed. I'm blessed, highly favored by my Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. And I'm thankful for everything that He's done for me. The salvation that I have because of Christ, His death and resurrection, and freeing me from my chains. Amen. And I just thank everyone who's been obedient to God and helped me and my family. I say it a lot in person, but I'm blessed beyond what I deserve. Anyways, this is Stitch. Y'all stay humble, stay blessed.